All right, finally live. Technical challenges. I don't know if it wasn't, well, I know how to use Facebook, so I'm thinking it was just maybe something with my phone. I had a black screen. The camera wasn't working at all. Let me get my guest on, and we're going to get rocking and rolling. Thank you guys for joining. Be sure to go ahead and share. Everybody is going to want to hear this story. So make sure that you share. That's what I'm doing right now. Your life actually can change in an instant. This is not a gimmick. That's not why I chose that title. It's because it is the truth. And everybody needs to know it. All right. So go ahead and share this video. Heidi, if you could share it and then I'll invite you. Go ahead and reshare it. And then I'll invite you, and we're going to jump right in. I'm going to bring Heidi on, and she's going to talk to us about her life and her life change. And we're going to try, like, super hard not to cry. We're going to really try not to cry, you guys, because it's definitely worth crying about. And then we'll go ahead and jump in. Like, I almost feel like we should, like, have prayer before we start this. That's just how incredible this is. All right, if you've done that, Heidi, I'm going to go ahead and see about bringing you on. There she is. Yes. All right, you should get an invite on. And we'll jump right in. Yeah. All right, so you can't hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Dog. The devil is a liar. Uh-oh, she froze up a little bit. I hope she comes back. Come on, Lord. Help us. Yes. All right, listen, we might have to pray to get through this.
Let's do it.
With these I am. No, really, I am. I'm going to say a quick prayer, you guys, and then we're going to jump in because the devil is a liar. All these tech challenges, it seems like my internet's freezing up a little bit, so we're just going to have a quick word of prayer and then jump right in. Heavenly Father, be with us in this moment, Lord, through the foolishness of technology, God. Help us to get this information out. Help us to share this message. Please put a hedge of protection around us. Let everything work smoothly, that our audio works, our video works. Just keep the devil out completely in this moment so we can move on. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Okay. All right. So listen, you guys, I am just now getting used to using the bringing somebody on feature. I think I can only do it from my cell phone and not from my computer. So we had some challenges with how to bring Heidi on and stuff like that when we were testing it earlier. So that's why we started a little bit late. If you're joining now, go ahead and share. It's December. Next year is the new year. People are going to be making all kinds of resolutions, and I really want as many people as possible to hear Heidi's story and to learn more about the birth experience so that they can stop hiding and make a life change, because that's really what it takes. So Heidi.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, so to give you guys a little history, I actually went to high school, and she graduated with my brother from high school, and then we reconnected on Facebook, like 8 or 9, whenever Facebook first started, right?
Back in the day.
So, Heidi knows the real Cara. Heidi knows the Cara that is like, hasn't always been this super zen, nice person that people now see me as. She's one of the OGs, the originals. And so Heidi has been watching me on Facebook a long time. We were in some private groups together. Heidi remembers when I was super negative and toxic and very, I could never be happy about my marriage. And like, she knows the bodies where they're buried. And so, Heidi, why don't you share? And this is not about me, y'all, but I was an inspiration to Heidi, and I don't mind saying that because God is the one who caused me to make my change. So any credit you think I'm giving myself is actually glory to God. And so I want Heidi to share her experience kind of watching me from the sidelines, and then tell Heidi how that influenced influenced your story?
Well, let's see. I remember we were in a couple of private groups together, and I do remember high school, and I remember and I've told the girls in St. Louis this too. Of like how I wasn't necessarily afraid of you in high school, but kinda. I was like, here comes Carl, I'm gonna go this way. Just because, only because you would call people out on the truth, and I was not being authentic. I knew I wasn't. I was not real. And so I just didn't want to be called out. I was okay with my fake self back then. But but yeah, so a few years ago, when did you start, Cara?
On
What year?
Facebook? My weight loss?
Yeah.
2015. 2015.
Oh, it's been
So,
2 years? Okay.
yeah, but you probably noticed in 2016 because that's when the weight loss started showing was in 2016.
Yeah, but I remember your post in 2015 about not feeling good and always tired, and um Zion would have been what, 2, 3?
Yeah, no, he was 3.5, 4.
Yeah, and he was busy. And he would say, this little boy, you're on the couch, you're like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to. And then I remember you posted something about um, alkaline eating, and that you were going to check it out because you needed to do something. And I just kind of, I don't know, I just kind of kept watching. And I remember, I just remember the part I think that spoke to me the most was when you would be in the bed or on the couch, and you were like, I need to get up and make this smoothie, or I need to go cut some veggies. I am just not feeling it, y'all. I just don't want to get up. And I was like, right? Me too, Cara. Me too. I don't either. And then like an hour later, you got your veggies cut, you got your smoothie made, and you did it anyway. And I was like, how'd she do that? I can't get off this couch to save my life. But I was, and then I would see you would post before and after photos as you were going, and I would see you out walking later. I was like, where is the Cara I was just talking to a little bit ago? But there was one, I don't know, there was all of that, and just your the the whole process, and it wasn't just about losing weight. Because you're right, I am an OG. I do remember from back in the day, and everything was changing. You were
Yeah.
more apt to discuss a topic as opposed to dismiss a topic. Um, it was very, very, very spiritual. I think spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
and and extremely inspiring. I would tell Amber all the time, like, look at Carl, look at what this girl is doing. And to this day, one of my favorite photos of you that you posted was the one where you laying on the ground and you've got all those like things laid out around you, and you were like, I just can't, I'm done. I was like, oh girl, me too. I don't wanna.
And you know, I had no shame. See, that was the season where I said, I'm always going to be this weight. I'm always going to look like this. So I'm just going to let it go. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like, I
loved
didn't
it.
care anymore. And
See,
I remember it popped up in my memories. It was Stone Mountain Park. I'd done 5 miles around the park, and I really was completely exhausted. So I was like, I'm going to take a picture. I don't care. And I stretched out on the ground. And they were like, are you crazy? But I didn't care anymore. You know, I just was whatever.
whatever, right? that's kind of
And
where.
Heidi, that reminds me of what you said. I want you to get to this part when you said you had this is. Let me tell you guys something. When Heidi started working with me, and she can talk about that part, and shared with me, and she put it on my Coach K's Healthy Living page that she had accepted that she was going to die. And you're 43 years old. She knew she was going to die, and she had accepted it. Like, that is so crazy to me.
I did.
So I want you to share. I
I
want you to share that specifically, Heidi, because there's a lot of people out there who feel like that.
Yeah, it was August. My cousin Zach had just visited me in July, and we were hanging out. I, wanted to take him around to the sites and St. Louis, take him to the Arch, and he he likes vinyl records, so there's a lot of those in St. Louis. So I was taking him to different stores, and I was worn out to the point, like, thankfully it was my cousin and not like a friend visiting, because I was like, Zach, I'm tired. I'm fat, Zach. I need to sit down. Like, my face was red, and they were doing construction down at the Arch. So you had to like walk like 8 blocks, and it's really not a lot of walking looking back, but it felt like miles, and I thought I was dying. But up until that point, even like a lot of this year up through August, I just started having Amber had to call the ambulance on me not long. I don't know exactly when it was, but basically I ended up last year or the year before getting, I don't know how long it's been now, but I had to start taking blood pressure medicine, and right off the bat I was on 4 different blood pressure meds, and it had been consistently around 186 over 100, 110. And then one day at work on a Friday, I had like what felt like a halo headache. It's the only way I can describe it. It was like the outside coming in.
All around,
And
yeah.
it was like 200 and something over
Oh my
120.
gosh.
Yeah. And it kind of freaked me out. Of course, I didn't go to the doctor until the next day. And then I
When
went
was
to
this? Was this in July?
no, this was before blood pressure medicine. Right
Oh, okay.
before.
Before you got okay.
I had just got put on a very small dose of blood pressure
So this was
medicine.
the first medicine that you
Yeah.
went on. First of all, tell everybody how many blood pressure meds you ended up on by August.
So after that ER visit, and they gave me a clonidine, which they said this will knock it down. Well, they said just give it 20 minutes. Well, 20 minutes later, after they did a CAT scan to make sure that I didn't stroke the day before,
Mm.
the clonidine didn't help. And I even said, I'm telling you, I need a water pill. I need hydrochlorothiazide. So they finally gave that to me, and within 10 minutes, 15, not even, I was like, I gotta
Mm-hmm.
pee, y'all. I gotta go. And my blood pressure dropped, and so it was water. It was all like water retention. I was experiencing all kinds of stuff. So they ended up putting me on 4 blood pressure medicines, and they increased a couple of them in July. And my doctor told me in July when I saw him that he said, Heidi, you gotta do something. He said, I guess my triglyceride, one of my numbers was way out of whack, and he said, you're gonna be diagnosed with diabetes in no time. And
Right.
I wanted, and he wanted to increase my blood pressure medicine in July.
Right.
Um, but he had just increased them, and it was still really high. They were having trouble managing it. And he told me that he recommended that I get gastric bypass surgery. And that had been the third, maybe fourth time that he recommended surgery for weight loss.
To me, you weren't that big where you needed a
I
gastric bypass.
No, I had actually lost since I had been seeing him. I had lost like 20 pounds since throughout the course of a year and a half of seeing him. Because when I
Right,
first saw him, I was 285,
right.
or pretty much. And then when he recommended that in July, I was right around 272. Yeah, about 272. And then after my cousin visited, I told Amber, I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta start eating some veggies, or we need to walk. I don't know. We gotta do something.
Yeah.
Oh, and apparently Amber takes really good notes. I don't, but apparently in that visit, he also recommended that Amber and I both look into getting our living wills written and notarized, and if I had one, and
Wow.
I was, I'm, I'm only assuming I was pretty sick. So,
At 43 years old, the doctor's talking. I mean, everybody should have a will. Don't get me wrong. But
I,
at 43 years
right.
old, the doctor's, he's so worried about your health, even though you didn't have a terminal illness. It's not like,
No,
but he's
high
predicting your
blood
death.
pressure.
Yeah, just blood
High,
pressure. So
and
tell everybody what happened in August, Heidi. I want you to get to that part.
so periodically throughout the day, um, I would have these thoughts of what I'm now understanding is called thoughts of impending doom, where you just think that
Impending what? Say it again. The signal went out. Impending what?
impending doom. So you
Wow.
just, I guess it's a clinical term apparently, where you know you're dying as a human.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like your body knows you're dying. And I would have these thoughts several times a day. And at first it scared me. It just started just a few months prior to August, but at first it kind of scared me and made me feel depressed and like I wanted to do something different. But and I didn't talk to anybody about it because I just thought maybe I was being dramatic, or I don't know, but it
Yeah.
pretty much felt, I knew I was dying. I just knew it. And I don't know, at some point this was right around August. I was like, you know what? It could be tomorrow. It might even be today still. It might happen in my sleep. But my future was getting shorter and shorter. My thoughts about how my life or what I would do next year, that didn't exist anymore. It was like month at a time.
Wow.
And so there was the first or second Saturday in August. Typically Amber and I order pizza Saturday night, watch some TV. Um, and this particular Saturday, it was around 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, and as usual, Amber was like, "All right, should we just order some pizza?" And I sat up because, of course, I was laying on the couch. All of me was laying on the couch, and I sat up and I just started. I'm not sure to this day, except God, that was divine intervention. But for some reason, I stood up off the couch and I walked over and started putting my shoes on. And she was like, "Where are you going?" I said, "I don't know, but I can't eat pizza anymore, and I feel like I need some vegetables. So I guess I'll go to Fresh Time Market." was not far from here. And she's like,
This was
hey,
August,
you.
by the way, everybody. Deb just asked if August of 2017. Yes, this was just this year.
Just this year, just a few months ago.
A few
Yeah,
months ago.
August, the first or second week in August. In fact, I was supposed to be in Topeka that weekend, and there was a lot of stuff going on with our car. And anyway, so I wasn't in Topeka, and but Amber was like, you don't have to go to the store tonight. She's like, we can get like a salad. I was like, no, I can't eat delivery anymore. I can't eat fast food. I just knew. It said it's gonna kill me. I have to do
Right.
something different. So Amber, can I have a drink of water? So I did. I put my shoes on, and I got the Fresh Time, and I was like, I'm not sure even what to buy. And I was like, Cara was that, and I had been following your posts, and that you had been losing weight, and I remember you talking about like alkaline foods, and um, like don't. One of the things that stuck out to me was eat fruit before you eat other things that digest faster, and so there's some things that were standing out in my mind, and I was like, well, I'm gonna Google. So I'm standing inside Fresh Time. It's like the first or second week in August, and Saturday night, 7 o'clock. Thank goodness they're open till 10.
Yeah.
Standing in Fresh Time, and I've got my phone. I Google alkaline foods and just whatever, and I go to images because I just need a list. I need something, and I'm
Yeah.
like, well, I'm gonna start buying some of these veggies and whatever. And I'm like, I know about veggies, but what does it mean? And I kind of saw a schedule or like a routine for someone who was healthy and eating to work with their body. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is a superfood green powder? I don't even know what that is. And sure enough, I look up, and there's this like display of green food powder that's got all like the high alkaline grasses in it. I'm like, oh, okay, so here's me. I grab the biggest tub they've got, put it in the car. I don't know what I'm
You're
doing.
all in. When you're in, you're all in.
It's like, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. So now, of course, I was like, alkaline water. I guess that's just tap water. That's got minerals in it. That's fine. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what agave syrup or like some of these other things. I was like, well, I don't know what any of this stuff is. But every time I would come to something in a list, on my list, I didn't know what it was. I'm not kidding. As sure as I stood there in the store and I would look up, like, where do I even go look for this? It was on the shelf in front of my face. And I've never experienced anything like that before in my life. And I went over to get some hemp seeds or whatever, and there was a lady standing there, and she kind of looked at my cart and looked at me like, you're clearly new at this. She was like, do you need help with anything? And I was like, well, yeah, I'm trying to buy. I look down at my feet and myself. I look back at her. I go, well, obviously I'm sick. And then I go, I'm trying to start some alkaline eating. And she goes, oh, yeah. And I was like, and it says I need some green food powder. And I pull out this big tub. And I'm like, but I don't know which one to get or if there's specific kinds. And she's like, well, I don't think it really matters. And she's just looking at me like, but that's a lot of green food powder. She goes, but
Yeah.
we have these
Yeah.
little, yeah. She's like, we got these little packets here. Like if you want to start with like a little packet, it's one serving. And then she was like, some people don't like it. She goes, it literally tastes like swamp water. I said, at this point, I don't care because I'm dying. So if I could just get some packets, that'd
Wow.
be great. So, and then I didn't look for alkaline water. I got home, realized that I forgot lettuce because we were gonna have salads, but I got all the veggies but the lettuce. So I ran to Deerberg's to get some lettuce, and I kid you not, Carl, when I walked in at Deerberg's, there was a life-size, larger than life display, and at the very top it was this white poster board and literally like written with a black Sharpie, alkaline water 10 for $10. And I was like, I never even heard the word alkaline before, but apparently the universe, God, whoever needs me to have this alkaline water, so I got 10 of them. And a week later, I signed up for, Amber and I signed up for your couples challenge.
Yes, that's right. We started with the couples challenge. Yes.
That you weren't even going to do for real.
No, I really wasn't. I put one post out there and a couple people said they were interested. So I'm like, okay. And I've just learned that, Christ would have come for just one, So for me, that was the shift from stop thinking about thousands of people, it's brick by brick. It's one person at a time making their change. And, I just let rest. And again, you guys, I know that the reception is kind of going in and out. I'm on the high speed. It's just that there must be a reason for it. So just bear with us and hang in there anyway, please. We do appreciate your support. So, Heidi, so for the record, I don't do alkaline water. I don't. I just drink regular spring water, and my diet is alkaline. People ask me about water all the time, and I don't do water. Anytime special water. If the water is naturally more alkaline, like high quality spring water, then I would say go for it, right?
Well, I think it's now I've learned now that there's a lot I'm learning, and alkaline specific water isn't necessary.
So the thing is, some of the alkaline water is actually chemically altered to be to be higher on the pH scale. That's what you don't want. Like if you can, and I can't recommend a brand to anybody because I don't base it on whether or not the water is alkaline, but there's one really popular one. I think it's called Eternal. My husband really likes that one. He thinks it makes him feel a certain kind of way. I think that one is natural. Is that what you got?
I have used it. I have used that one. That's good. I like that one. But I've read about it, and I understand now that like a high alkaline water, like you said, is essentially just direct from the mountains, like spring water. But at the time, I didn't know that.
Okay. So talk about, take everybody to when after the couples challenge, what your results were, and then why you decided to join the rebirth experience.
There's so many. Well, within just a couple days of the couples challenge, not only was I excited in learning how to use plant-based foods, make my favorite foods, even using plants and vegetables and fruits, but there was the spirituality aspect of it for me was important. And I think that is because I knew that you would come up in my news feed for a reason, and I knew that I got off that couch for a reason. I didn't know what the reason was because I've been in that same mindset before of like, ugh, I want anything but delivery, but I did it anyway just because I was lazy or it was easier or whatever. But for some reason that day, I didn't. And I know that, all I know is that my experience was directly related to divine intervention of some kind. And when you told me that you had thought about canceling the couples challenge, and I'm like, yeah, God has a sense of humor. Brought Amber and I into your couples challenge, and I was just, all of it was, for me, I needed to grow spiritually. I needed to know. I needed to connect.
Yeah. See, now we're not crying yet. We're not crying. Listen, I want you guys to hear what Heidi said to me. This is what she sent me on an email, and this was after she'd already been going for a little while in September. This was in September. She was sending me pictures of herself. I can't make this up. That's why I need Heidi to be live. I need people to not think that I just Google these before and after pictures and put them out there and then pat myself on the back. It's the Lord on our side. Trust me. So her message said, I'm so excited. My knees don't hurt. I don't trip, fall anymore. I don't have sleep apnea, more energy, sleeping better, etc. She said, Cara, I was about to die. I know it in my heart of hearts. I had accepted my fate and was deeply depressed, yet comfortable there. It had to be divine intervention. And then you went on to tell the story of how you guys were going to go to dinner, get takeout. You said you stood up, you started putting your shoes on, which took a bit because her legs and feet were so swollen. High blood pressure, all the water retention. And you said that you were going to get some vegetables and whatever. And then you said, oh, I hope I can share this part, Heidi, although I think it's already in the other message. But no, this is how we feel. This is how we feel. I was too ashamed, to come to you with questions. Plus, I wasn't confident I would stick with it. So we don't want to say anything because we're feeling ourselves. I may not stick with it, so I don't want to put myself out there and be accountable. But within 24 hours, I literally felt my organs waking up and start working.
They tingled.
When I read that, I was blown away. And then you said you hadn't had any cravings or desires. And let get this, you guys. Not only this, I'm not trying to jump ahead on the story because although I don't really know where the story is going at this point, but not only did Heidi jump in the rebirth experience with feet first, hands in. She's joined our St. Louis crew. They've been grocery shopping together. They've been out to eat. They're like sisters for life. She is the light of the community. She brought her mama and her sister in. So we have the first RBE family, man, and all three of them. And this is what her sister said to me, who I also went to high school with. Her sister said that she reached out to me and said she wanted to talk to me, about joining. And she said, you gave me my sister back. She was like, I've never seen Heidi like this before. And your mother, so sweet. She's so shy, but she was so emotional about getting her. Well, she was shy when she was talking to me.
I know.
But she was so emotional about getting her daughter back. So Heidi is changing a legacy, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. When you get your health together and you go from one drastic end to another, and it doesn't always happen this quickly. The weight loss doesn't always happen as quickly. The family coming around doesn't always happen as quickly. So I don't want everybody to think that's going to be their story. But if you make a change and you're consistent with it, the things that changed in Heidi, you guys, it wasn't just the weight loss, it was her spirit. That's why we talk so much about that. Who wants a nasty person with a great diet? No, that's not the goal. The goal is to change inside out. Your cells are regenerating, your organs, um, and you are nice to people and you're kind. You don't have a nasty attitude all the time anymore. You're not out here rushing around, cutting people off in traffic, being crazy, stressing yourself out. And we work on total transformation because stress can spike your blood pressure if you're sitting around eating kale all day long. You can still end up having a stroke.
Mm-hmm. And
So
now,
I'm just happy, Heidi, that I didn't have to see Heidi rest in peace on my dog on newsfeed. And I mean that because we're at an age where we're starting to see people die, and a lot of them are way too young. So every
yes.
person who comes back from the brink of that, I'm so grateful.
And I was headed that way. In fact, sadly enough, we did have, my uncle was passed away a couple weeks ago, and he's not the youngest in his family, but he's second youngest, and my dad's the baby, but my uncle Dale passed away, and he didn't have a disease either. Like, he was like me. He had high blood pressure, and his kidneys were having trouble, and he weighed a lot. He was a big boy, and he had a stroke not long ago, and he came back from it a little bit, but not all the way. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what, his blood pressure killed him. Is essentially
Yeah,
what happened.
yeah. How old was he?
Well, he had to be probably right around 70, but for the last like 10 years, he's not been, or more maybe, 10 to 15 years maybe, he's not like been an active participant in life.
Quality of life.
Yeah.
Because that's what happens for some people. Some people do just go out one day and drop dead. Other people live on and on, but it ain't a good life. They can't
Mm-mm.
travel. They got
Somebody,
oxygen with them everywhere they go. They don't
yeah,
feel good. They're
right.
just existing.
And that's what I didn't want. I don't want my partner or my family to have to worry about, my medical life or what's all going on, having to take care of me, or not at this age, or having to be sad because I'm not here anymore, and
Yeah,
then having my nieces and nephews that are just so young, and, whether it's Sophie or Haley or my nephew Noah or there's Liana, Evie, all of them. I don't ever want them to realize, if I were to die because I didn't take care of myself, and then they find out I had the option to take care of myself, but I just didn't feel like it, and now they don't have their aunt. I'm not doing that to them, and I don't want them
mm,
to ever feel like they don't have options,
mm,
because that's a big part of what my issue was like, I knew my dad's always had really bad uncontrollable blood pressure, and both sides of the family weight issues, and just it's all food related. It's all food
yeah,
related, clearly.
yeah.
And so
Wow.
when my mom got excited and my sister got excited, because we were texting and I was sending them photos, and I was, being silly. I'm like, well, you can do this or you can do this. And they jumped on board, and I was so excited.
Heidi was chasing them down like a Jehovah's Witness out trying to get some souls.
You know it.
No, really.
Hey,
So, so,
yeah.
so listen, I want, and I don't even know how much battery I have left on my phone, but I want us to express to people, I told you guys in the group, it's so funny because in corporate, I would sell all day. All right. I even used to do telemarketing, but it has been more challenging for me to really convey this experience and to really press people on why they need it. I just told somebody today who inboxes me with questions, not that I mind questions, but I told her, you need to be in the rebirth experience. Like the questions that you're asking me one on one, but you could be asking people. You could be hearing
Anybody
the
can.
stories of, dozens of other women. You could be receiving the encouragement from dozens of other women. I'm gifted at certain things, but like I'm not gifted like Heidi is to give you, encouragement, to give you inspiration. I'm not gifted like Nicole is to share a word, or to check in on people. I'm not even gifted like Lisa with her food creativity, like the dishes that
Man.
she posts, where you're like, you mixed what with what and came up with what is
Right.
that? And she can make like the most
Anything.
incredible things. I mean, honestly, her and the knowledge that Jackie brings when we're on group calls, if there's a question that I can't answer, Jackie's had a lot of different health issues that she's dealt with. She'll speak from her own experience. Everybody shares. Everybody is so transparent. And I just need to find the right ways to press folks to say, this is for you. Like if you're listening to this, and you keep failing on your own, it's because you don't have accountability. Like you said, Heidi, I didn't want to say anything because I don't be accountable to anybody, to
Right.
whether or not it's going to do it. And in the rebirth experience, there's no judgment, man. We all fall. And like we said about a couple weeks ago, a righteous man falls 7 times because he fell down and he got back up, and he fell down and he got back up. And we have to do the same thing with our health. That's what finally made the difference for me when I said, even if I fall down, the next day I'm going to get back up. And I have consistently done that for the past several years. And now we're
Mm-hmm.
doing that as a community. And I don't know how, I feel like I just want to like walk around with a sign that says, women of faith, you need to be in the rebirth experience.
Absolutely. And I
Yeah.
haven't ever had as much support and acceptance and love on every level, like spiritually, emotionally. Everybody always, no matter what it is that you pose to the group, whether it's a question or what do I do with this food or what is this and anything, or somebody please pray for me, I feel sad, anything. And there's
Yeah.
always loving words to follow that are jump right in. People will pray with you on the phone, they'll message you, hey, just checking, make sure you're okay. Nicole, she's good with that, very good with that. Lisa
Yeah.
was very sweet with me about the whole jackfruit thing.
Right. Put that
that, was,
back, honey.
that was funny. And then Carla in St. Louis, when we got together, she gives me this sweet little book of proverbs and a study. I mean, just there's just so much love. I mean, they do. They feel like family to me.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, we're going nationwide. So now we have St. Louis. Of course, we have Georgia because that's where I am. We got somebody in California. I talked to someone in Seattle today who I think is going to join us. So we'll get more going on the West Coast. And then we got a couple people in New York, Connecticut, Virginia,
Texas,
Texas, Ohio. I mean,
Kansas,
so Kansas, yes, I forgot about Kansas. And did I say Alabama and Florida? Yeah, we got somebody in Florida. Rachel's in Florida. We need to find her. She's been. So every now and then I'll do like a missing members post. I don't want to call people out and get upset about it, but I do want to tag you and let you know that I haven't seen you in a while. And then Priscilla, I can't remember. She's down south some. No, she's in Wisconsin, small town Wisconsin, up there by herself. So as we grow, we just gonna have chapters all over, and I
let's
just
do
want
it.
people to come in now without excuses. You can come in for as low as $19 a month. Like that's it.
I'm just saying, it's worth every penny.
I keep trying to tell them. So for 19 a month, you're in the community. You get access to all of the exclusive online content. I did some live cooking in there today. Sometimes I'll take and repurpose the content, but I start with RBE Live. That's where my heart goes. For people who sign up today, I've got t-shirts, like the one I'm wearing, that I will ship to you for free. I don't have all sizes, but I do have a bunch of larges. But then I also have a couple of 2XL. Did I ever send you your shirts, Heidi?
No. No, but thank goodness. No, I'm glad because I couldn't fit it now.
Now we need
the size that I gave you. The
so
size
wait,
I
tell
gave.
us how much weight you lost.
I am under 220. Woo!
That's 45 pounds since August.
Yeah, and I went from I was pushing, so I wear men's jeans because I don't have hips, they fit better, but so I was in a waist size pushing out of a 42 before August, and I'm in a 36.
Snap.
And my
From a
shirt,
42 to 36, I think you're down almost 50 pounds now since
yeah,
August. But
yeah.
listen, y'all, if you have high blood pressure issues, chronic like that, your weight loss could be just as dramatic because so much of that is bloating and water retention, and it's just waiting. Your system is totally inflamed. Heidi was totally inflamed. She was acidic. She was an acidic nightmare. She was so backed up, and that's
My
why she was feeling
skin,
bad all over.
I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all can see my complexion, but my skin used to be real blotchy, had these big red spots all over it. It was horrible. And
And they
I
do
don't
have some
have
other
that.
close-ups too that really show that. Like there was a selfie you posted in the group that showed how much better your skin is. So listen, y'all. So that's the entry level is not it's month to month. There's no risk. Like you come in for a month, you don't like us, you don't have to stay. The next level up, you'll see all this on CoachCard.com, which I did put in the comments. Is where it gets a little more sticker. There's higher accountability, and you're just getting a ton more information. That intensive package is $99 a month, and here's why. Some people are like, "What?" But you're getting everything that you need in terms of we cleanse every quarter. In January coming up, we're doing a gastrointestinal colon cleanse where you're going to get a complete recipe guide, meal plan, the shopping list, a guidebook that tells you how to take your herbs, all this kind of stuff to cleanse your colon. And each cleanse that happens after that is systematic. So GI colon in January, blood parasite cleanse is 21 days in May. No, in April. And then over the summer, we focus on kidneys and lymph system. And then in the fall, we're doing liver and gallbladder. And every month there are classes, and all that stuff's included, plus bi-weekly group coaching that we do where we
Worth
talk about
every
what's
penny.
going on. And the coaching is going to be centered around the key areas of your life, not just about food. But in January, for example, we're focusing on spirituality as overall in the group. Where are we spiritually? What's going on with that? Let's have a spiritual challenge and see what we can do to push ourselves forward in that area. February, we'll be talking about relationships, and I'm looking forward to having some guest speakers come in for our sessions. And we already have somebody, frankly, in house who has a background. Two people
Natasha,
actually have a background in relationship coaching, so they'll be talking us through that. My goal and my belief is that God is leading us to get our whole lives together, right? So if you stay with me through all, by the end of the year, you have not only cleansed every major system of your body, but your spirit in all key 12 areas: spirituality, joy, relationships, living, career, education. We will have touched on all those pockets throughout. And so I want y'all to consider that if you sign up today, you will get a t-shirt provided I have your size. You'll also get a one-on-one consultation with me. My third package on CoachCard.com is the breakthrough package. We work together one-on-one for 90 days. We're together for 90 days one-on-one. If you get the breakthrough package, once the 90 days is over, you roll right into the community for the rest of the year at no charge, right? So you can be there, and then you can choose to do your cleanses a la carte. Lots of options we have from there. But for now, the biggest thing that you need to do is make a decision and go ahead and join us join us now. So we're not starting the GI cleanse until January, but like I told somebody today, it takes time to get your mind right. I don't want you to come in. I don't want you to come in January 2nd and you're overwhelmed because you don't know where to find this stuff. You just joined this new group. You don't know anybody. You need time to get acclimated. It takes time to get your kitchen together, to eat the last of those cookies, okay?
Right.
You gotta have them. Give you a chance to try out a couple of recipes when you're not under the gun, because this cleanse hasn't even started yet. But you can start trying out this food is different, y'all. This is not like regular plant-based foods. All right, so it may be harder to find certain things. You need time for all that. It's very stressful when you come into something at the last minute and then you're trying to figure out where do I find everything. So I want you to get in now in December so that you can have time to pull everything together. In January, I have to do that because I want to push people to make a decision in December. And even if no one else signs up in December, I am still going to change that investment amount because I got to be a person of my word. So every price point is going to go up after the first. There's just so much that's included. But again, it's month to month. There's really no risk for you at all. Now, if you're a guy and you just want to get in on the cleanses, you can totally do that. I have a separate community called Detox with Coach K that will still be open all year long, and I'll be doing the live coaching, group coaching every week. When we're in detox, we got to talk every week. I just believe in that very strongly. People fall off the wagon and have no accountability. So the cleanse is open, and you can find that on caraashburn.com. You can go ahead and sign up and get in there as soon as possible. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say something that I wasn't planning to say on here, just in case somebody signs up, wants to go ahead and sign up for the cleanse, and they know that's all they want. You use 21 detox in all caps, you will get 50% off. That code is already set up. I only gave it to the former detoxers from the last cleanse, so maybe I shouldn't be doing this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Maybe somebody will say, you know what, lock me in now.
Not on that.
I don't know. Maybe not, but I tell you one thing, tomorrow, I will be changing that code and letting that group know what the new code is. That way I can test and see if anybody was serious about getting it. So it'll be 50% off for tonight only. If you just want to do the 21, the gastrointestinal cleanse, that's what it will be. And that is for people who, they like what I'm saying about the rebirth, but they really just want the cleanse. Go ahead, because even while we're in the cleanse, I'm still going to be talking to you about RBE. Let's just be honest. That is life.
That makes sense not to.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. So if you use 21 detox tonight, you will get the and you're already set. You know what you're going to be doing for the new year. When the herb recommendations come out, you'll have time to get your herbs and go ahead and get started. Don't worry about doing a colon cleanse and getting caught out and having to use the bathroom all day long. Most of the time, it does not work like that. You'll have your herbs in enough time to be able to test them out over the weekend or something when you are at home all day, and you'll have time to sort that out so that you'll see how your body adjusts, and then you just need to take your herbs according to that schedule. So I got to say that because people hear colon cleanse and think it's going to be a problem, but you just want to go to the bathroom. Like you should be majorly excited that waste is not backing up in your system. It's gone where it needs to go. And not in you. So Heidi, do you want to share anything else with the people about I want you to just speak from your heart about the community itself and why you think people should join us.
Well, there's so many reasons, but I think one of the biggest positives or biggest things I've found that is so helpful is that everyone in the group so far that I can tell wants each other. We all want each other to be successful. We all want each other to reach your goals, and they don't all have to be the same. They don't have to be. Not everybody wants to lose a bunch of weight. Some people just want to work on their spiritual life. They're okay with their weight or whatever, and that's fine. There's no, like you said earlier, there's no judgment. So what's so helpful is that at any given time of day, you can, if you're not sure, you want to substitute, you're at a restaurant with co-workers all of a sudden, you're not sure what to get, you pose a question in the group, someone will read it, someone will answer you. At most, I've waited maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We all support each other and we're there for each other. I don't know, I have my notifications on for the group. So if I see somebody post or ask a question, I'm right there. Like, you go, girl, or handle it, or whatever it is. And we challenge each other too, though. We challenge each other to think through things. I know I'm impulsive sometimes, and I know other people that can be, and so, some people ready to jump ship or whatever. Well, now let's think about it. We challenge each other. And just having the knowledge, like, some people make it a certain recipe this way, and they've added this and taken this out. This person did it this way, they've added this. And what I have learned is that all of the foods that I used to eat that somebody else made and were designed to kill me were killing me, but the food, they're all available to me now, but with healthy ingredients. And I don't ever worry about what I'm gonna eat or where I'm gonna get my food. That's another thing, is I don't ever feel hungry. I never have to feel. I haven't felt hungry since I started this. And I think it's because I'm actually giving my body some, like, nutritional value. Giving it nutrients my body can use. My body's like, oh, I'm good now for a while. I don't have to eat, 3 platefuls of something. I don't even want all that. It's like, I got enough nutrients in this one little plate, and I probably won't even think about food for the next 4 or 5 hours, because I'm going to have a smoothie or I'm going to snack on some nuts. I don't know. It's just easy to me now.
And you know what? I have to say this because I know how some people think, and then sometimes people send requests to join the group and then don't realize it's a paid group. I used to feel like, I don't know, a little shy about that, but I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook, and I'm in 2 other groups where I'm a paid member. There is a totally different level of atmosphere, excellence, respect, when people are invested in being in a community. Like, it's drastic. The one community I'm in, which has thousands of members, there's no spam in there. There's no crazy posts. When I post that I need something, I need help with something, people are responsive. Everybody is vested. I've done business with the people in the group. We've networked together, and there's such a high level of character when you're in a community where you're paid to be in there. Actually, I'm in three other communities like that where I'm a paid member. There is a difference. When it's free, anybody can come in there with all their trash and garbage or whatever, and there's so much more drama. It reminds me of here in Atlanta, we got the free park. I love Stone Mountain Park. You have to pay to get in Stone Mountain Park, but I always feel safer in there. You can leave your stuff on the lawn and go do an activity still there. There's no riffraff in there. Why? Because everybody who's in there paid to be there. And it's just a higher level of thinking that takes place in a paid group. I'm just telling you guys what I know. Not because I got a free group, but the people in the free group, they don't participate. I can't get nothing out of them. because they're not vested. I've given my program away for free before, and the people that I gave it to for free didn't want any more. And it taught me that people don't really appreciate things when there's no skin in the game. So I just wanted to clarify and confirm that there are a lot of, there are some decent Facebook groups out there that are free. I'm not going to say there aren't, but the ones I'm in where I have had to invest is a much higher level of committed people in there. The support is greater and everything. There's more control from the admins in the group. It's just much better.
I do want to add too that speaking of paying to be in the group, for me, paying whatever a month to be in the group is worth eliminating 2 blood pressure medicines now, Cara.
Oh, I forgot for you to ask you to say that.
Yep, I have reduced from 4 to 2. I take lisinopril and Bistolic, and I have eliminated my hydrochlorothiazide and my clonidine. So, reducing paying for medicine every month is easier to pay for a community who's actually invested in my health and not maybe some doctor that just gets paid for me being prescribed medicine, I guess.
Yeah. Well, listen, so for those who sign up for the Rebirth Experience, again, you're going to get a t-shirt if I have your size. I've got some larges, extra larges, XXL, and a 3XL. We don't judge, right? That's where you start. Next year, you can get a new t-shirt. So I'll ship this out to you for free. And then also, you'll get a copy of the Rebirth Guide, which at the community level, that guide is $20 to download. It's a 4-week meal plan and has everything in it that you need to get started. If you come in at the intensive or breakthrough, the guide is included. But even at the community level, if you sign up tonight, you'll get the guide for free. So you won't pay for that. And you'll get a t-shirt at any level if you go ahead and sign up tonight. And that's it. I don't want to talk you all's heads off. I'll be back tomorrow night at 8:30 with my girl Dinah. We love Dinah, don't we, Heidi? So Dinah will be on. Dinah has lost 65 pounds this year when she got rebirthed. And she's going to come on and share her story as well. So, yes, and soon you replace all this with some essential oils. So, yeah, I'm closing in a minute. I'm sorry. But Bobby's good. Everybody needs to follow Bobby. He just commented on this thread, y'all. His food looks fire. He makes a lot of delicious looking alkaline dishes. I love to see guys in the kitchen. Don't let my husband hear this. I love you, honey, but I sure would love to see you in the kitchen. But Bobby kills it in the kitchen. Bobby Gilner. So he's commenting on this thread. You can follow him and see all his recipes and stuff like that. And then, yeah, my homie and RBE sister, DJ, does the Young Living Essential Oils. I know she and I will go live together at some point talking about that because she makes fire. I know other people do oils. I'm not throwing any shade, but as soon as I can, man, I'm getting in on that because we now use aromatherapy like in my diffuser every night. And you want to talk about having a problem with eating, emotional eating and triggers and managing stress, get you a diffuser. Put some really good oil in your diffuser and you'll be all right. You will relax, you will feel better. A lot of their oils are actually culinary. You can put them in food. You get sick, you drop a little of the ginger oil in your smoothie when you don't have any ginger or into some tea. There's so many things that you can do with it that I'm sold. I'm all in. So listen, remember to share this video out. Go ahead and share it. I only see 12 shares on here, and that makes me really sad because there's a lot of people out there. You guys have loved ones who are not going to see. There are people There are people right now who are not going to see 2018. Heidi didn't know if that was her last day. It's not a joke. It's not. She had made a choice to eat one more inflammatory acidic food. It could have taken her out. So please share it. It might be the person in your family who is stubborn as all get out, but they hear this and for whatever reason, even through all the tech challenges and the camera freezing up or whatever, God speaks, man. The Spirit is stronger. Whatever they're going through, I'm here to tell you guys, God is greater. I'm not trying to preach here, but whatever your circumstance is, and I'm going to end on this note, whatever your circumstance is, whatever you're going through, whether it's a financial challenge, your health, your marriage is in the crapper, God is greater. I don't care if your child is sick or wayward or out on drugs, God is greater. I don't care if you're depressed and you have feelings of suicide and you feel like your diet is the last thing you need to be concerned about right now, God is greater. I just want you to
Amen.
remind yourself, He is greater than any situation that you have ever faced. God said the best thing that He's ever done in your life, He's looking to do something even better than that, immeasurably, abundantly more, ever imagine. Eye has not seen and ears have not heard what the Lord has prepared for those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. And that's what we're all about, y'all, is purpose. So I thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I'm going to see you tomorrow night with more encouragement. Thank you so much, Heidi, for being my guest. You're
Of course.
incredible. You inspire me. I love you so much, man. You look, if I had to listen, now I'm about to get emotional. But if God told me to quit my job just for Heidi, it was worth it. Thanks
I love
everybody for tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow night. Bye.
Bye.